Welcome to part 4. In this video, we are joining all our squares. I welcome questions, just ask in the comments. Here are the abbreviations I use in the written pattern. I use US terms. This shows the color combinations for each square. These are what each round looks like when completed. I've made a chart showing how I placed my squares for joining. You can change it to whatever order you like. And here we are ready to start joining. So for this process, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the chart and we're going to start, and I've already done all but the very last column. I'm going to do the last column on this video to show you how this works. But what we're going to do is you start with the column that's on the far left, and then you'll join these two together and you just work this pattern, and then you get down here and you start with this one and then you connect this one and you work that all the way down and so forth. You go to the next one and then connect this to the right and the left, and you keep working all the way down that chart. You connect them all, and when you get down here to the bottom, you're going to go ahead and finish off that part, and then you're going to come back up, and now you'll have just these two done all the way down. Then you'll go to the chart and you'll get the next one and you'll connect it, and you'll just connect it here, and then you'll go get the next one and you'll connect it, and you just keep going vertically like this, and you'll just keep going across and starting back up at the top, and you put the first join in this corner, and then you're going to work your chains, and then you're going to single and join in this corner and work your chains and single, chain, single, and you'll just keep working that pattern all the way down. So once you get all of them joined vertically going this way, then we're going to come back through and I'll show you how we're going to actually work a pattern, and we're going to join them horizontally across. And what we'll end up with is each one of these will be a little cross join here between the rows. And once we get them all completely joined, then we can talk about if we want to put on a border. So stay tuned. Just a quick note about the hooks. So this is the hook that I used to actually make all the squares, but I misplaced it when I went to start joining. It's a 3.75mm hook. So I did all the joining so far using this 4mm hook, and so for this video I'm going to keep using the 4mm hook just so that it's all consistent. You can use a 4mm hook to make the squares as well. I just happened to start with this one, and of course I found it after I did most of my joining, but I just wanted to stay looking consistent, so I'm going to keep using this hook through the rest of the videos. Okay, so to do this last part of the join, I'm going to, this is all of the remaining squares, and I've put them in order according to the chart for which one is supposed to be joined. So I'm going to start with number 1, and I'm going to come over here just to the side here, get my white yarn so I can get that right. Okay, and for this I just make a slip knot. And you know, you can turn the square, they're all the same, so you can just turn it however you like. I just have been putting all the strings kind of the same direction for consistency again. And just pull up some yarn. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do this join is I am going to make a single in this top corner, and then I'm going to chain 2. Okay, now when you're doing this join, when you're working down this side of the square that's going to be on the right, you're working on the left side of the square on the right, you're always going to be doing a chain 2 after your singles. So it'll be a single, chain 2, single, chain 2, single, chain 2, single, chain 2, all the way down. And when you come and work down this left square, but on the right side, it'll be a chain 3. So chain 2 going this way, chain 3 going this way. So I've got my chain 2. I'm going to make my next single in this corner, and I'm going to chain 3. Oops. I don't quite like this hook as much as my other one. I like the other one better, but we're going to make the best of it. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to skip 2 on this side. I'm going to skip 2 stitches and I'm going to single in the 3rd stitch, and then I'm going to chain 2, if I can catch that yarn, chain 2, and I'm going to skip 2 stitches on the other one, and I'm going to single in the 3rd. So there's the 3rd stitch, make a single, and chain 3. And then I'll come back over here. I'm going to skip 2, single in the 3rd. If I can keep the yarn on my hook. There we go. Single in that 3rd stitch. Chain 2. Come back to the other side. You're going to skip 2, single in the 3rd stitch, and chain 3. And you're just going to continue doing that pattern all the way down, and then you're going to put the last stitch on this side in the bottom corner, chain 2, put the last stitch on this one in the corner, chain 3, and then once you chain that 3, you're going to take the next one in the chart and you're going to single here, chain 2, and then you'll have this one is next, and you're going to single, chain 3, skip 2, put in a single, chain 2, skip 2, single, chain 3, and just keep working in that zigzag pattern all the way down until you connect each one of the squares in the column on the chart. So I'll keep going with this one, and I'll show you how to connect those at the bottom. So skip 2, single in the 3rd, 2 chains, okay, and then you're going to skip 2, single in the 3rd, and 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, okay, skip 2 stitches, single, chain 2, and then on the side skip 2, single, chain 3, 2, 3, skip 2, single, chain 1, chain 2, 2, 3, and they do look like they're a little bit crooked. That's okay. It will straighten out at the bottom. Get one more yarn. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. 1, 2. There we go. Okay, chain 3. And put the last one in the corner. Chain 2. Put the last one in the corner on this side. Chain 3. Okay, there. And so then the next one is going to be here, and you're just going to start again. You're going to single in that corner, chain 2. Okay, so here I'm already connected, but if you were connecting them, if this was your first column and you'd be connecting them, it would be exactly the same. You're just going to come and grab this square, and you're going to single in this corner. Single crochet in that corner and chain 3. And then it's again the same process. You skip 2, put it in the 3rd, chain 2, skip 2, put it in the 3rd, chain 3. Work all the way down and just keep joining, going down according to the chart and putting your squares in. And when you get to the bottom, finish off and then come back up to the top and start the next column. This is the last column, so I'm going to go ahead and finish, and then I'll come back and we'll do the horizontals. See you there. here we are. I'm at the end. I have completed all of the columns, and if you look at the chart, you'll see I'm at the very end of the column where it starts with square number 1 and then it goes to square number 2. And to do the horizontal, we're actually going to work from this end and work backwards this way. So it'll be very similar. I've marked the corner with these little stitch markers to where I'm going to start. So I'm actually going to start here each horizontal row, and I'm going to work to the left. And then I'll start the next row. I'll begin here and connect here, and then we'll work this way. And so what will happen is it'll be the exact same pattern. I will do a single crochet join, and then I will do chain 2, and then I'll join here with a single, and then it'll be chain 3, chain 2, chain 3, chain 2, singles all the way down. And then I'll get to this point and I will do my last single here, chain 2, I'll put a single here, and then I will chain 3 and I will single here, chain 2, single here, and then I'll just keep working that all the way back down to the other end. And when I get to the other end, I will finish off and I'll come back and I will join, and I'll start that whole process all over again. I'll just work in between each of the rows. So I'm going to get started and I'll see you back here in just a minute. Okay, I'm ready to start. I'm going to put a slip stitch on my needle, my hook, and join with a single, and then I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to put a single across from there in the same corner, chain 3. I'm going to skip the first 2 and put my stitch in the third. Then I'm going to chain 2 again, and then on the other side it's the same. I'm going to skip 2 stitches and put it in the third stitch, and then chain 3, and come over here, skip 2, put it in the third stitch, chain 2, and so forth. I'm just going to keep working that pattern just like I have been all the way down to the middle. And when we get to that middle part, I'm going to show you how to do the join in the middle. It'll look really cool. 2, 3. Okay, then we've got skip 2, put it in the third stitch. And hopefully you will be working on a not so slippery surface like I am right now, because my blanket is sliding everywhere. It's just slippy slidey. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And this is a very nice hook. It's beautiful. It's very smooth. It feels really nice in my hand. However, with that said, I prefer a knife hold for my crochet, which means it's a very skinny little implement in my hand, and I'm having a bit of trouble maneuvering it. I much prefer to have an ergonomic type hook that has a lot more to hold on to in my palm, and my blanket just keeps wanting to fall down. Okay, there we go. So if you have, for instance, if you have a pencil type grip for crochet, this is a wonderful hook. I can only imagine that this would be fantastic for that type grip. It's just, for me, oops, what did I forget to do? Chain 3. For me, I prefer my handled hooks. My hand gets a little more tired, I notice, and I have a little trouble maneuvering the yarn into my hook. So, lesson learned, don't lose your hook in the middle of a project, right? 1, 2, okay. So here we are, put my last stitch in there, chain 2, Okay, we're going to go across to this corner and single. Now here's the interesting part. This is what I want to show you. Okay, so from here, normally on all these other corners what we've done is we've done a chain 3 and then we would connect to this corner here. What we're going to do instead is we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to just go into this chain right here, if I can get my hook through it. Right in the middle, the third chain down, you're going to slip stitch. And then you're going to chain 1 again, and then you're going to single. Then you'll chain 2, you'll go up, and you'll connect into this corner, and now you'll just chain 3 normally. So that's what you're going to do at each of these junctions where the horizontal and the vertical meet. Chain 2. And again, we're going to skip, put it in the third stitch, chain 3. And I'll stop for a second and show you now how that looks. If I can get my tail out of there. Okay. So now you can see we've got this very nice little X that's right there in the center. And I think that looks really cool. I really like it. So when you get down here and you get to this point, just remember you're going to single, chain 2, single, and then you're going to chain 1, slip stitch in the middle of that chain 3 right there, and then chain 1 again and single. Then you will just chain 2, single, chain 3, single, chain 2, single, chain 3, all the way down. And you'll do that for each of these horizontal rows. When you get to the end over there, you're going to cut your yarn, you're going to come back up here, and you'll start again with another slip knot, and you'll start here and you'll work your way down again. You'll just do that between each of the rows. So I'm going to get going on that, and I will see you when all my rows are joined. We've reached the end of part 4. I hope you'll watch part 5 when we'll make a border. Thanks again for watching.